Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, two powerful, jingoistic, and somewhat anachronistic empires clash on Sandrift as Hera, playing as the Spanish in blue, takes on MbL, playing as the Romans in red. Now all the players herd their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Castle Age ASAP, because we are, as we have been in the last little while, on Empire Wars. A good time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today, as yet again the players spring into action. Now the Spanish are a paramilitary civilization with an incredibly broad, versatile, and powerful tech tree. Their first unique unit is the Conquistador, a mounted hand cannoneer who can often be seen riding alongside their second unique unit, the Missionary, basically a mounted monk. Now, economically, Spanish villagers do build structures faster than usual. Their blacksmith upgrades cost no gold, and they do get 20 gold for every single research technology. It looked for a second, by the way, that Hera was going to push gazelles towards MbL, but nuh-uh, he is trying to push nothing but death upon his enemy. Now, if all else fails, if the Spanish military doesn't deliver the goods, well, the Spanish can actually beef up all of their villagers by giving them 40 extra HP, +2/+2 armor, and a +6 attack boost, which makes them quite deadly and destructive in the later stages of the game. But we are quite a distance away from the later stages of the game. Let's take a look at the HP on these units. Ooh, some of them are starting to get halfway for MbL, so we might be seeing the first kill of the game. Look at that. Skeleton on top of skeleton. First blood drawn by Hera, our Spaniard in blue. Now opposing him, MbL in red, as the Romans, a civilization built around supporting their powerful unique infantry unit, the Legionary, which replaces their two-handed swordsmen and their champions, and not only comes with comes with an attack bonus against other infantry units, but which can also be upgraded to get a charge attack. Now, sprinkle in the second unique unit of the Romans, the heavy cavalry Centurion, and any nearby legionaries under its command will also move and attack faster. And by the way, the Centurion as well as Roman Knightline units do benefit from the upgrade I just mentioned, where they get a charge attack. Now, to provide even more backup, the Romans have one of the deadliest scorpions in the game. These siege units not only cost a lot less gold, think Schlachter privileges, but for a siege unit, and by the way, you don't have to pay for that. That happens automatically. Their minimum range is reduced from 2 to 1. They can be upgraded to fire faster, and they're the only scorpions in the game that benefit from ballistics, which means their bolts will track you down and kill you even if you're running around. Now, economically, Roman villagers do gather resources and build and repair structures a little bit faster than normal, which does allow them to get their economy, their military-industrial complex up and running a lot faster than usual, even though I believe it's just a 5% quicker gathering and building repairing speed. Still 5% ultimately as the game goes on. The longer the game goes on, man, does that small number equate to a big boost. So those are the two civilizations we've got before us. Like I mentioned, two big, powerful, very noteworthy empires. Second kill here for Hera as MbL inserts himself into this gold-rich area. We'll take a look at the map in a second, but as I mentioned, two nice empires for us. One primarily a naval empire, although with a good, rich history in certain parts of the world. The other primarily a land empire, although one with a interesting naval history as well. Man, Hera is just racking up the kills at the moment. His archers seem invincible. Right as I say that, one of them dies 4 kills to 1. Lately in these games, we somehow, in the initial stages, always seem to see 5 kills to 1, 4 kills to 1, 6 kills to 1. It's always something to 1, which is a little strange but interesting. Let's see how this shapes up, and then we'll take a look at the map. This is not the first time we've been on Sandrift, but a few interesting things to note. First of all, one thing I didn't point out the first time we watched this map is there are a lot of animals lining. If you look at the mini-map, these gray, or I don't know what color this is for you. To me, it looks kind of light green gray. Okay, I think. There's a lot of these lining the outer rim of this dried out riverbed, and there's a bunch of herdables inside the riverbed as well. By the way, if you're wondering why this color is this weird shifting Arrakis dune style color, it is a terrain much like the one surrounding this town center where you cannot build anything, which is why you'll see there's nothing around both town centers. This is dead space, and to drive the point home, just as Hera, our Spaniard, hits Castle Age, the developers added a few skeletons to make you remember that, hey, you can't put anything here. There's a couple of dead trees, which it looks like MbL has chopped down. Hera leaving his up. And by the way, Hera, because you can't build farms or anything around your town center, your farmers are a little bit more exposed on this map, especially when you're spawning like Hera with your mill right in the very forward position. At least MbL's buries his mill off to the side, a little bit protected. Hera's very exposed. Now, the second unique terrain that we'll see on this map is this cracked terrain, cracked earth. Anything you build on here, if the center point of the structure touches it, it takes more bonus damage, or rather takes bonus damage when it gets attacked. And so the building is not quite as safe and secure as it could be if it was perhaps on this piece of terrain. MbL now takes the lead in kill count. Hera sticking around a little bit too long, trying to bust his way into this area. How much of MbL's base has Hera actually seen beyond that initial scouting of the northern perimeter? Has not seen anything here. 1, 2, 3 extra town centers for our Roman. Only 1 for our Spaniard, who already has a castle, though. I did see bloodlines getting researched, so the conquistadors that are here are going to come with a little bit of extra HP, 20 to be exact. Red goat, blue spearman, bunch of gazelles, bunch of dead trees and shrubs everywhere. This is a map devoid of I would say, of precious resources. Let's actually take a look. Just under 8,000, or maybe exactly 8,000 gold, 20 stone rather, 25,000 gold. Not a lot of food sources, but plenty of wood. And by the way, the wood nice and secure to the back. So some elements of this map suggest to me that the developers wanted the players to really attack into one another. And by that, I mean this dead area in the center dividing the two civilizations, because you can't build anything here, which means if you're on the aggressive, if you want to construct anything, you have to build it right in front of your opponent's base. So that indicates to me that the developers wanted this map to be pretty darn aggressive. On the other hand, there's a lot of sources of wood to the back, which suggests to me that they also wanted you to have plenty of resources to plop down farms, although not a lot of safe areas to plop down those farms. Like I said, any infrastructure, a castle built on here is like building a house on quicksand. 0 kills for these 4 conquistadors. 15 crossbows with 5 kills already are on the hunt. These are the evolved archers we saw in Feudal Age. MbL is hunting here. Let's see if he can catch them out. What are the upgrades on them? +2, +1. Conquistadors have their armor upgrades in line. Both players firing at each other. Both players missing. Although, right as I say that, a crossbow dies. And Hera evens up for a second. The kill count then takes the lead in the kill count. 7 kills to 6. As both players kind of back away. Hera adding a 3rd town center next to the gold. Civilian-wise, both players sitting on an identical count. 64, 65 villagers a pop. Ooh, get inside the town center. MbL does not want to take on these conquistadors. 4 of them have already gotten 4 kills, so that 15 count has been reduced to 11. Hera's on the hunt for relics. How many relics are there on the map? 1, 2, 3, 4. Possibly a 5th that I'm missing, but from what I can see, it looks like just 4 relics. 1, 2, 3, and 4. No neutral relic. I would have imagined maybe there's one here in the center. But the monk finds the relic. We'll see if he notices. Should notice any second now. Both players now with the low to mid 70 villager population. Yeah, there he goes to pick it up. Has Hera seen the relic here to the side? No, he hasn't. MbL, do you even have a monastery? Yes, you do. Has not seen any relics. Okay. So the monastery, even though it has a monk already out and is training a second, a little bit later than Hera is MbL to start looking for those relics. Deletes a bunch of palisades. Where are these villagers? 644 stone, 670. Where is the castle gonna go down? Right inside the base? Kind of not really. Wow. Okay. I don't know if that's luck that he managed to get the exact number of villagers that could fit. By the way, holy moly, get ballistics. Here are how many volleys did these crossbows take? Did they fire against these conquistadors who somehow not only survive but killed 2 more crossbows of the opponent. And now the kill count is raised on high to 6. Monk is healing them up. MbL, okay, there we go, realizes that, wait a second, why the hell are my units missing so much? And is getting ballistics. But an interesting location for a castle. Kind of wedged into here. I'm not a big fan on open maps of wedging castles into certain areas. But we'll see. For now, the castle's not really being very active. Hera is on the way to Imperial with 3 fewer villagers than his opponent with ballistics. Let's see how much more damage they can get done now. Okay, there we go, a kill. All right, 2 for 2 for now. 4 for 2. Oh, and he's getting 2 months. MbL all of a sudden. How incredibly important it is to get the right upgrades for your units. Without ballistics, I mean, maybe he would have sniped the monks because they move just about as fast as a turtle. But those conquistadors for sure, that is a fantastic get there for our Roman in red, who for just a few resources managed to snipe these conquistadors. And what's happening here? Another castle drop. MbL is buying stone left, right, and center. He does not want to deal with the Spanish in the late stages of the game, but oh no, he's building it on cracked earth, on cracked terrain. And the way it works is the center point of the structure has to be touching cracked terrain. It's not just an edge or a tile, or it's not like 3/4 of the building. It doesn't matter where anything else other than the center point of the castle is, or any structure, to be honest. If it's on cracked terrain, it will take 20% more damage if and when it gets attacked. Hera, by the way, has 2 castles up now, so he should be nice and safe from these crossbows. In 40 seconds, he'll be an Imperial, and he'll be able to... Oh, no, he's got enough wood for 1 treb. The hell? 2 stables? For our Roman? Okay. Unless I'm mistaken, the Romans don't get hussars or paladins, so we're gonna see something out of these stables. I'm not too sure what. Maybe he just wants to raid. Maybe he notices. Has he seen? He hasn't even seen this, so it's definitely not for raiding. Maybe it is, but he hasn't even seen that this farming community is incredibly open. Has he explored here as well? No. So MbL doesn't have any vision of his opponent. Now he's going up to 4. First of all, I'm surprised he could build them here. I guess around the edges of the dead river, you can. Are you going knights? Is he gonna go commit a Tensi's Cavaliers? That is a ballsy move to go against the Spanish. Now, committed Tensi's is the Roman upgrade that does 2 things. Number 1, all of your Nightline units, so out of your stables, your Centurion out of your castle, and your Legionary, 2 more stables, and your Legionary out of your barracks, they all train 50% faster. So it's similar to, similar but a little bit weaker, a lot weaker than Perfusion for the Goths. Oh, by the way, surrounded are the crossbows as the castle comes under attack. Delete that palisade, Hera does. Ouch, that hurts. Now, without arbalests, those crossbows were pretty much as good as the Romans get. So, and there's committed Tensi's. Okay, smartly from the rear castle. So it does, again, 2 things. Nightline units, which I'm hoping we're going to get these Centurions. Otherwise, MbL's going to die here in 5 seconds. Centurions, Legionaries, Nightline units train 50% faster. And on top of that, they all get a +5 charge attack. Now, unlike the Urumi Swordsman charge attack, there's no trample damage, so it's kind of like the Coustelier one, except a lot weaker. It's not +20, +25, it's just +5. Okay, Hera susses it out. He sees none of these stables just yet. He's going to discover them now. He's going to see so many knights. He must be so happy. What is MbL doing here? Does he think the Centurion boost applies to Nightline units? Does it? Am I tripping? I thought the movement speed and attack speed only applied to Legionaries underneath the control of the Centurion, as Hera, for the umpteenth time, somehow always manages to catch out a bunch of villagers and decimates them Roman style here. Let's keep an eye on that in picture for now. Both players are going up to Cavalier, except that one player has Paladins. I mean, this is something I have never seen since they introduced the Romans. I don't think I've ever seen heavy on the cavalry. Now, if I highlight one of these units, you see the white bar underneath? That's the charge attack. So right now it's 12 plus 6 because he has +1 from forging up to the top right of your screen and +5 from the charge attack. And eventually, once in 40 seconds iron casting completes, it'll jump up to +7 because iron casting will add that +1. Looks like the crossbow's got a few more kills. Hera realizing that, hey, I'm a little bit exposed here. Might want to wall this area off. We'll keep an eye on these crossbows as 2 cavaliers head over. So we're entering an interesting situation that I don't think I've seen before. Oh no, now he's taking the foot off the gas by adding pikemen, where one civilization has cavaliers with charge attack, the other has paladins. And for a paladin, the Spanish paladin, a generic one, is about as good as you get. And by generic, I mean it's not like the Frank with more HP, the Cuman with faster speed. There's you can't see it, but there's a villager in there. Villager in the worst location ever. So the Spanish paladin, unless I'm mistaken, their cavalry line is pristine. It is absolutely clean. He is a minute away from blast furnace. MbL cannot take this fight, although should he take this fight right now with our God's Eye view? He's 15 seconds away from facing paladins. He's 30 seconds away from having halberdiers, but how many pikemen does he have? He's going up to 9, so he's got to keep Hera's army away. Okay, now he sees the paladins. Conquistadors move in to kill a few of the villagers. MbL enters into this trough, this ravine, which reminds me always of Terminator 2, of the truck chase inside the aqueduct, I think it was, in LA. No, 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 not like this. Not like this. Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Does a +5 charge attack beat out the Spanish paladin, which, by the way, for Hera is fully upgraded, as is the cavalier. There's a lot. There's just a lot of red checkered flags. Even the game derps out, freezes for a hot second as, oh my god, what was that, like a minute? And all of a sudden MbL's entire civilization is collapsing. He's down to 106 villagers. He's being raided to the center, to the left, to the north, to the right. Oh goodness gracious, a few halberdiers are, what the hell just happened? What the hell just happened? We need to look at that. We need to see that battle again. Well, I guess we have our answer. So let's see what's going on here. Forget the villagers with their hammers. Forget the pikemen. As much DPS as they add. 33 paladins, 35 cavaliers, 2 centurions, and a goat. Where the hell's the goat? I'm gonna unclick the goat and hopefully that doesn't change. Oh my god, it does change the HP. Well, there you go. Oh, that's funny. I really do wonder if MbL thinks the 2 centurions are going to increase the attack speed and movement speed of his units. I don't think they do. I think it's just for the infantry of the Romans. And by infantry, I mean the legionaries. Oh man, I'm going to have to look that up because who's wrong here, MbL or me? If that's indeed what he thought. Maybe he just was training centurions, but I can't imagine why he only trained 2 and then stopped. He still has a castle. In any event, the HP for Hera is about 1100 higher, which already is a really bad sign for MbL. Maybe if he had gone left and taken the high ground. But remember, these guys have a charge attack, so they initially attack on a 19 to the 18 of the paladin. I don't think that's enough to make a difference. I mean, I say that in hindsight. Of course, it's not enough to make a difference because we know exactly what happened. Hera's paladins, by the way, are a lot healthier than MbL's cavaliers, which have taken a few engagements and already down 500-600 HP. So let's see what happens here. Okay, luckily for him, his 2 pikemen do turn into halberdiers, but they get swarmed immediately, and they add about diddly squat. Luckily for MbL, Hera for a second did pull a few knights to attack the villagers, but Hera knows how to take a battle. He knows that's a big distraction here. Okay, a bunch of cavaliers turn tail and run the hell away at this point. Forget the frickin' goat. Oh yeah, the paladins are just absolutely wrecking everything here. He doesn't even need the remainder of the force to get rid of the cavaliers. Wow. Absolute total domination by the Spanish paladin. And now he's adding Supremacy, which is going to roid up his villagers. So if these paladins didn't take that fight, then 80 HP plus 6 attack, so 9 attack villagers would be en route. And there's that castle from Hera, the Spanish castle being dropped amidst all of this as his stronger villagers in 36 seconds make their journey across this dead land. Holy shit! I mean, that wasn't even close. I thought that would at least be a little bit closer with the charge attack. But 180 HP to 160, where are the... yeah, there's just a few less. Sorry, 140. I always confuse that. Not even a close fight. That was just about terrible. I love to see it. MbL trying something new here. 6 stables. By the way, Hera didn't know that there were 6 stables there as he went heavy on the knights as well. He saw his opponent going heavy on the knights, and then he saw the stables. But wow, the charge attack... Let me know in the comments, am I wrong? At the time of recording this, I honestly thought that the Centurion attack and movement speed boost only applied to their militia line units. I didn't think it applied to the Cavalier. Now, if it did apply to the Cavalier, that is huge. And that is probably why MbL added those 2 Centurions, but at the end of the day, look at that, 52 villager kills to 13, literally 4 times, exactly 4 times the villager kills of his opponent, and Hera has almost triple the total kills, which is what happens when you go Spanish Paladin fully upgraded against Cavaliers fully upgraded. And there you go. If you thought the cost of the upgrade from Cavalier to Paladin was too much, it's too exorbitant, this battle here should let you clue you in that it is very much worth it to get that upgrade. And the goat, originally in the firm hands of the Roman Empire, now joins the Spanish Empire. This is a fair weather goat. He joins whatever side is standing next to him, and so not a serious goat at all. Let's take a look at the stats. 70 paladins. Okay, so the numbers, obviously we saw the numbers, we saw the HP. MbL really either should have taken a fight a few minutes earlier or should have taken a fight a few minutes later once he had his halberdier numbers up a little bit more. I feel like 10 halberdiers alone instead of the 2 that died immediately, literally immediately somewhere here before this barracks went up. Those 2 halberdiers added jack nothing to this fight. 10, 15, 20, on the other hand, will definitely protect him, but he's open and he's being raided by a fully upgraded Spanish Paladin, which, like I said, for a generic Paladin is about as good as it freaking gets. And yeah, let's take a look at the actual economy. I can't imagine this is going to be too far apart. Yeah, okay, so just under 2,000, 2 relics to 1 for Hera. So Hera ahead in food and stone, MbL ahead in wood and gold. Although gold really almost identical here. Food is fairly similar, wood is very similar. So it's really just the stone here that's about 50%, or actually double, 100% difference in stone count. Conversions 1 to 0, and Hera destroying 11 structures, 7 of them in the forward position here. And like I said, this map really is a bit of a question mark for me, because on the one hand, it does lend itself to stuff like this where you can't really build in the middle. So everything you build has to be, if you're going aggressive, has to be on your enemy's side of the map. On the other hand, there's just so much wood everywhere in clumps that make it easy to wall off. You know, you can easily wall this off. What the hell are these 2 mangonels doing here? What were they hunting? Okay, you have to go back and look at the tapes to see what they were up to. But a bit of a question mark map, which, by the way, also against this being a very aggressive map, a lot of cracked earth, which suggests to me that they want you to be aggressive, but they want your aggression to be a little bit riskier than normal. Because again, these stables, if this center point is touching this cracked earth, are going to go down a little bit faster than normal. And so a big question mark is this map. But what's not a big question mark is that Hera, seeing with the vision, the 6 stables and the ridiculous number of Cavaliers that popped out of there, made the right choice, stuck to the Paladins, who fully upgraded them ahead of his opponent. I think he was fully upgraded ahead of MbL, although I'm not 100% sure. I remember MbL was still getting blast furnace a few minutes ago, and just absolutely took the Battle of the Ravine here and slaughtered. And we answered the not quite age-old question, since I really only came up with it about 5 minutes ago. Does the +5 charge attack, does it matter? Does it help out? And against any other unit, maybe? but against a fully upgraded Spanish Paladin, which Hera has 47 of them left, by the way, which, in case you're wondering why MbL GG'd so quickly after that fight with still 100 villagers, having 47 fully upgraded Paladins up your ass is not exactly a fun way to end a game. And what's not in question is that our Spaniard with those Paladins took an absolute beast of an engagement here. MbL's army, his Roman army melting, and yours truly is definitely going to go check out whether or not the Centurion affects the movement and attack speed of anything other than Militia Line, because I really thought it was just Militia Line. So either MbL is wrong or I'm wrong. One of us is wrong. And ultimately, I pay zero price for being wrong, except maybe a bit of humility. And MbL unfortunately pays the price by GGing. Hera is victorious in a quick but very powerful game with some very powerful units. GG truly to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.